This is very necessary today. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary scientist and lover of makeup, especially eyeshadow and colorful eyeshadow. And today I'm going to be trying out the new Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay. So this came in the mail, I think FedEx dropped this off about an hour and a half ago. I was actually out with my husband and my best friend and her husband. We went out for brunch and to a plant store, got this cute little thing, and this giant one that I'm really excited for. And on the way home, I got the email that this was delivered. So it came in this really nicely packaged outer box that's really large because it was wrapped in bubble wrap inside that. And here is the interior. This is really pretty. So I saw this on Instagram last week, I think the day it was announced. And I was like, wow, that's really pretty. I need to I really like that color story. Kind of, a few people I've seen say this have said that it kind of looks like you took the two Melt palettes, the Morte and the Vita palette, and kind of smushed them together, because you've got these reds, this yellow, the greens, and the really dark blues. And then when I saw it was only $15, including tax, I had to have it. So ordered it the day it came out, and then just got here. So I haven't tried this formula at all. I know people really love their Book of Magic palette, which is the purple one. And they had another one that looked pretty, but it wasn't, like, the color story didn't draw me in. It was a little too monochromatic. I don't really like monochromatic palettes. I really like things with a good variety. And so this is 20 shades, and it's supposed to represent the four elements: earth, air, water, and plants. So I'm really excited to try this. So I'm gonna swatch it first on my arm. I don't have any primer or anything on. See what I think about the colors, and then do a look today. And then I think I'm gonna do another video with a couple looks in it, because I have multiple ideas. So I'm gonna swatch these going across and then down. So the first shade is Snow, which is a nice kind of off-white creamy color. It feels pretty soft. Probably not going to really show up. Oh, okay, that showed up more than I expected it to. That's pretty bright. Normally shades like this I don't really ever use, and they never really show up on me anyway. I know people use them as a brow bone highlight or blend the edges. They don't really work for me to blend the edges, and I don't really like a matte brow bone highlight. I like something, I don't want something metallic or glittery there. I want it to be like a natural glow kind of highlight. Second shade is Sky, which is this light blue, also really soft. Ray, which looks like kind of a yellow with a little bit of a green to it, like a greenish blue. Like as I move it, I see some green and blue to it that's probably not showing up on camera. And then we've got Twilight, which is this dark blue. I'm gonna put those. So here is Sky. Wow, that's really pigmented. Ray. Oh, that's really pretty. And Twilight. So swatches are a little weird. For that dark one, but still looks pretty good. This definitely has a bit of a green to it. And then we've got Ocean, which is the blue shimmer. It looks like it's got light blue sparkles in it, and then it's a little bit of a darker blue base. Forest, which is a nice mid-tone green. And then Breeze is this kind of light teal shimmer, like more of a green, but with a hint of blue. So we've got the blue shimmer Ocean. That's really pretty. Yeah, that's a dark blue with little speckles of like white or silver and light blue. And we've got Forest. That's really nice. And oh, that's Breeze. Yeah, that's definitely like a really nice teal, and there's some like yellow sparkle running through it. It's definitely staining my fingers a little bit. Then we've got Mint, which is the light green. Most of these, it's a very green happy palette, which I like. But I do like the blend of these warm tones and the blues. Moss, which is the green shimmer, that looks really nice. And then Ivy is the dark green. That looks so nice on my finger. Okay, so we've got Mint is just a nice pastel mint. Oh wow, yeah. That's Moss. I think that's gonna be the shimmer I use today. That looks so nice. And then Ivy is this really dark green. Swatching a little patchy, but that means nothing. But that's a really deep green. That's really pretty. I'll probably get through the green shades on this arm, and then I can maybe do the others here. I'll just wipe them off. Lime is a nice bright lime green. And then I've got Leaf, which is this really pretty kind of yellowy green. And Eucalyptus is a nice, more olive green. Those look really nice. This green is beautiful. So there's Lime. That's really nice. And that's Leaf and Eucalyptus. Yeah, I really like these. The dark shades look a little weird on my arm, but that doesn't really mean much. So I think I'm gonna swatch the rest just on the inner part of my arm so I can get them all done. So Marigold is this really pretty mustardy yellow. We've got Fossil, which is supposed to be a bronze. That looks very shiny. Poppy is this nice bright red. This one feels a little drier than the others, but it's a really pretty color. So I'm just gonna go down this way towards work my way back up. So there's Marigold. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. Fossil and Poppy. Yeah, Poppy definitely feels a little dry. It might work well, but then we've got the dark red, almost maroon, which is raw. That feels a little softer than Poppy actually. Heat, which is this red metallic. Earth, which is just nice brown. And Sunrise, which is this orange. So we've got, oh yeah, that's really pretty. Raw is really nice. And then there's Heat. That's really pretty too. It's got a bit of a yellow in it. And then the brown and that orange, which are not swatching as well. So those are the swatches, and I'll go ahead and insert a close-up that I'll record on my phone. They're really pretty. I definitely need to put this green on my eye. So I'll probably do a green look today, plus I'm wearing my favorite shirt, which is this cream color with green stripes. And then I will do some other looks later. And I like that it's really colorful, but there are some good neutrals thrown in. One, they fit the theme, but also if you want to use this palette, and you want, like maybe you're traveling or something, now that that's kind of happening again, and you want to do a neutral look, you can always do the orange, the brown, and like Fossil and just go neutral. Or you can go very blue, you can go red, you can go yellowy green, teal. There's a lot of options here. So I'm really excited to try this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Okay, so I already primed my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I really, really want to put that Moss shade, this green shimmer on my lid, and it's got a little bit of a yellow into it as well. So I think I'm gonna start with the shade Marigold on the lid, and then start working in the greens after that. So I'm gonna take the shade Marigold on my Sigma E25 blending brush and get a little bit of that on there. Tap off the excess. And then thankfully this has a large mirror. And then I'm gonna just tap that all over my crease. Oh, Yeah, that's a very pigmented yellow. Kind of a warm mustard yellow. Just gonna tap that where I want a little bit of the color everywhere, and then without any extra on the brush, blend that out a little bit and see how that works. So far this is going on beautifully. And then I'm going to take just a tiny bit more and make sure I have it going into my crease as well. Because this is just a little bit above my crease, so that it's visible with my eyes open normally. So for this brush, I really like that it's got a little flatness to it if you turn it the right way, so I like to use that to pat on, and then I like to take it and rotate it to blend. Okay, so that looks really nice so far. So now I'm going to take a slightly smaller blending brush. This is a Sigma E27, which is the detailed blending. And I think I'm going to go into Eucalyptus, which is the shade right next to that. Tap a little bit on that. And then I'm going to place that on the outer corner and then blend it into the crease a little bit. It's a really pretty shade. This is kind of my favorite color of green. Is this? It's not like a true olive. It's not 100% olive, but it's kind of leaning olive. And I'm just a sucker for olive tones. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of that in my crease underneath the yellow and just pat the two together and blend those together. I could have started with mint or forest or another green or even leaf. Leaf would blend really easily with those because it's got a little bit of yellow. But I'm not the biggest fan of monochromatic looks as well as palettes, so I want to incorporate a little bit of that yellow and see how that worked, especially because there's some yellow sparkle in that shimmer. Those two colors look really nice together. There's no patchiness or anything like that, and I don't really have any fallout either. I didn't do anything to my face today except for skincare, so if I do get fallout, it's fine, but so far there doesn't seem to be any. So then I'm going to go back into that fluffier brush, blend the two together, and then I'm going to grab, I think, Ivy, that dark green, and put that on the outer corner to deepen it up even more. Okay, so I went ahead and blended the two together, and then I did the same on the other eye. They're not working as well on this eye, but I do have some trouble with shadow right here periodically, so I'll see what I'll do with that. They do seem to be more of a stamp eyeshadow and not a fluffy blend all over eyeshadow, but we'll see. So next I'm going to take Ivy, which is the darkest green, and I'm going to put that on my Sigma E42. There's a bit of kick up in the pan, which I don't mind, but I know some people it really bothers, so I do want to mention it. I'm going to place that, I'm going to stamp that on the outer corner and just kind of blend it into the other green. Oh, that's really pretty. It's a dark green, but there's a little bit of a tealness to it. It's like a super deep teal. So it'll work well with these greens and with the like forest and mint shades that have a little more blue to them. So I think that was a smart choice. I'm just running that on the outer edge of my lash line and my outer V, and then just blending it in. So I like this brush because it's small and pretty dense, but it has just enough fluff on the end that it works pretty well for blending as well in small areas like out here. Okay, so now I've got Ivy on the outer corner blended out, and it looks a little not great right here in my crease, but that a shimmer is going to go over that anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And so far I really like the tones of these, and they seem to be working pretty well. So now I'm going to add some NYX glitter glue like I do for most shimmers. I'm going to put a little of that on each eye in kind of the shape I want them to be, and then start going in with these shimmers. Okay, and so I've just put that NYX glitter glue all over to about here in kind of a diagonal shape. And I'm gonna grab my Morphe 124, which is one of my go-to little flat shader brushes. And I'm gonna take the shade Moss on that. It's picking up decently. And I'm gonna place that in the middle of my lid. Middle and outer. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. And it does have that little bit of a yellow sparkle to it, which I love. And then I'm going to take the shade Lime, which is that bright limey green, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion from here and kind of blend it up this way. And then just blend the two together. And I've just got one on each side of the brush, so I'm just going back and forth to kind of blend the two greens together. So there's kind of a gradient from that bright green to the slightly darker moss green. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the other eye as well. Okay, so I put the shimmers on both. I really love this gradient from this lime to the darker moss, especially because moss does have a little bit of yellow in it. They blend really well together. I do want to say this is a very soft formula, so you can see just from trying to pick up some of my brush, there's a nice indent in this one. Okay, and I don't seem to have any fallout whatsoever, which is great. Yeah, I don't have any fallout. So for the lower lash line, I'm gonna start the lower lash line and then do my base after. I'm gonna go into Earth, which is that brown. I'm gonna stamp that on the lower lash line and then blend it out with probably Marigold to bring the yellow to the lower lash line as well. Okay, so that's stamping on really nicely, really pigmented. So where that earth shade gets up to the greens on the top, I'm going to take a little bit of Ivy and stamp that over it as well, just to make sure the two halves are married together. Okay, and so that looks really great, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my face and clean up the edge here, and I'll be back. Okay, so my base is done. Today I primed with the Rituel Decay Thron oil. I just got the sample size, which this is how big that is. And so far that feels really nice. I then used my go-to foundation, the Fenty Ease Drop in shade 11. One of my go-to concealers, I did the Kosas today in shade 6. And I set that with the Kosas Cloud Set in shade Comfy, which is the medium. And you can see also my go-to, this used to have a bit of a dome. My bronzer today is once again the Haus Labs Heat Spell, the one with the giant pan. And then for my lip, I did Sienna in one of the Kaleidos lip plays. Forgot what that was called for a second. And then my blush slash kind of highlight, because it's pretty glowy, is another Rituel Decay product that I got. It is the Rituel Decay Color Nectar Pigment Balm. This is the shade Snapdragon, which is the orange. So these are supposed to be good for the eyes, lips, and face. Although, I don't know how much I would use this on my eyes based on the way it feels, but we'll see. I will have something up about this soon. But this is the shade Snapdragon. As soon as I saw this, I knew I had to have it. So this is what it looks like in the pan, and this is it on my finger. So you can see how vibrant that is, and it's got a bit of a glow to it. So I just put that all over here and here, and called it a day for both blush and highlighter. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish the eyes. I'm gonna take that marigold shade that I used to start, and I'm gonna lightly blend the edges of this brown earth shade. And just make sure everything is nice and cohesive. And make sure the edges have that yellow all the way around. So far, I'm really happy with these, especially for $15. Like that, you can't beat that price point. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera again to finish the eyes with some mascara and such, and I will be right back. Okay, and this is the finished look. So I went ahead and added my liquid liner from Haus Labs on the top with my lashes from House of Lashes. These are the Iconic Lights again. Urban Decay mascara under that, and on the lower lash line, I added my Haus Labs pencil liner in Empire, which is this really pretty shimmery emerald. And then I added Ray, which is that kind of white with a little bit of a yellowy green. You can kind of see it there in the inner corner. And I really like this, especially now that I've had them on for a little bit. I mean, it's only been maybe half an hour since I started, but you can see these two have already melted into each other beautifully and made this really pretty gradient. So I can't wait to try the rest of these. I think for $15, this is an excellent deal, and I love the color story. So I'm going to do probably a 2 to 3 looks, 1 palette video with this in the next couple days as well, just so I can get a chance at trying the other shades, like these blues, the reds, maybe. So let me know what you think of the look in the comments below. I really like it. I also am really liking this blush now that I've tried it. So I can't wait to do another video with this up in the next few days, but I hope you like this, and remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.